9:16. The UK is at risk of recession after revised figures showed the economy shrank between July and September.
Friday's updated figures also show that the economy performed worse than expected between April and June.
Now, the Prime Minister, Rishi made growing the economy one of his key pledges. So do these revised figures throw doubt upon that pledge too?
Well, joining us for analysis is former advisor to the Bank of England, Dr. Roger Gewolb. I'm sorry, Roger, I do hope I've said that. Is it Gewolb? Yeah. Apologies. I will get that right next time. A very happy Christmas to you. Should we be full of the festive spirit then when it comes to the economy? Maybe not.
I think we're in a terrible mess. This is the latest of Rishi's pledges to fail. And it's no wonder it did, because with the Bank of England's multiple rate rises, 14 of them, and pouring all of the printed money onto the economy, it's no wonder there's no growth. You know, when the government takes so much of your money in tax at historical highs and the banks take it in interest, no wonder there isn't enough money for the economy to grow.
There's an interesting interview that Sir James Dyson, the industrialist, has given to one of the newspapers this morning, saying this simply isn't good enough. We have to have growth. How could it be achieved?
By the Bank of England starting to reverse its absurd policy of raising interest rates to curb non-consumer-driven inflation. Inflation has come down, and as I predicted a year ago it would, and I also predicted that Mr. Sunak and Hunt and Bailey would all take credit for it. They got nothing to do with it. It's mainly energy prices falling, and this is what the kind of inflation we have, and cost push inflation, not driven by consumer spending. You can't curtail people buying food and energy and petrol, etc. It falls by itself. And the last thing you do is make money more expensive. You just create and prolong the inflation. And Bailey and company have been told this over and over and over. I call him the Bailey-oceros because he and his thick-skinned colleagues just won't listen. And even now, with the inflation falling, they won't reduce interest rates. They say they're going to keep them up to fight persistent inflation at the same time as it's dropping. And Hunt and Sunak back them up. I mean, we're living in an alternative universe. It's like this government is like a trapped octopus with a giant squid over its face. And we, the British public, are on a ship spinning around in a maelstrom in a terrible storm at sea, while the officers are on the bridge practicing gibberish with each other to see who sounds the most convincing. It's a complete joke. And if I may go on a second more, the alternative looks even worse. People such as the noted analyst and psychologist Jordan Peterson have said that if the Labour Party gets in, Britain will become like Venezuela for the next 20 years. So we're in a real mess.
Yeah, but the point of what you're saying is that we could be doing better. But people, the right people, the Chancellor, the Prime Minister, are just simply taking the wrong decisions.
Out, out, out. They've proven themselves to be absolutely incompetent at leading this country, all of them. They need to go. And then before the next general election, not pretty, not witty, not Susie or Boozy or Femi or Kemi or any of their any Penny or any of the rest of them, if any of them were natural leaders, they would have emerged from a mess like this and taken some initiative. It's just like Starmer trying to get Corbyn elected and then emerging saying, look at me, I'm going to be a great leader. No, my personal recommendation is Esther McVey, the Minister for Common Sense. Get her in there as quickly as possible as our next Prime Minister. That's my personal view.
Okay.
We'll tell her.
It's an interesting view.
Yeah.
Don't think it's going to happen. She's too busy being Minister for Common Sense, but
I don't
It
know.
is a suggestion.
There are quite a few columnists in today's papers saying exactly what you're saying, though. Let's concentrate on Esther. She is talking common sense.
Well, the reason that Rishi, while Rome is burning, I think, is so interested in artificial intelligence, holding all these conferences and things, is because there ain't a lot of the real stuff around him.
And just very finally, completely different subject. I can see you're in Miami. Tell us how glorious the weather is there.
Oh, don't.
I came here for a couple of days to talk to Trump and Biden people and see what's going on. The weather has been terrible, so don't feel bad. The other night, it was colder here than it was in London, it's picking up a bit now. The interesting thing is that people in America are not talking about Gaza. They're not talking about Ukraine. They're just talking American presidential politics, which is a really hot subject with everything going on.
A hot subject, one we have not got time to get into as much as we would love to. But thank you so much for talking to us, Dr. Roger Gewolb. Really good to talk to you, and Merry Christmas.
Very Merry Christmas, absolutely. Goodness, though. I mean, what are we meant to do? Who are we meant to vote for? I don't know. Anyway, we'll pass it on to Esther McVeigh, that she's obviously got a keen fan there. Let's, at 9:22, find out a bit more about today's weather.
Good morning, Alex.